Hello and welcome to All the Pies. My name's Si. That is Kev. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Well, I'm in a foul mood today. I need to get out of that
I
funk.
detected that. What's been happening?
Oh, loads of shit. I'm fat.
I
There's
know,
that.
yeah.
That'll come into play. I'll tell you this. My car's shit. It's a nightmare. My daughter decided to lend one of my favourite t-shirts, and then she put it in the dryer. So that I can't wear that again because I've got a fucking odd shaped body. So that's why I have to have my clothes done a certain way and they have to be dried either on the line or on the radiator. Put them in the
Aye.
dryer. They're just shrinking. All my bits go out. Do you know what I mean? That's why I can't wear like cheap Primark stuff. Nothing against it. It just doesn't fit right. I see.
What top was it?
I look like mashed potato, like squeezed in a sock. I mean, body shape. You know what I mean? And it was a Nike FC t-shirt.
Oh,
And do you know what I mean? I buy decent clothes not because I'm vain, just because it fits right. It fit right on my body. So yeah, so that annoyed us. What
so
else?
your car and
My
your
car.
clothes,
Yeah.
just all the
And then,
material things.
but then this goes to show how much of a prick I am, right? My wife bought us a couple of things to cheer us up. Show you.
Uh-huh.
She bought us this.
Oh, that's cool.
First thing I said was, I'm not wearing a half North scarf.
Such a lovely husband.
I'm just so ungrateful. And do you know what I mean? And it was a t-shirt which I thought I wasn't going to like, but I do actually like it. It's like a 90s style. Do you know what I mean? Like what they would have done in the 90s. I
Oh,
like 90s
cool.
stuff. I like 90s stuff. But I was
Oh, no,
worried
I
I
like
wasn't
that.
going to like it. I'll wear that one in Trafalgar Square. I was worried
You're
I wasn't
gonna,
going to like it because I've told her before, don't buy his clothes because I'll just not wear them. I'll just, you know what I mean? I can't wear stuff. I can't wear like a t-shirt with like Beer Monster or, do you know, anything like other people's sense of humor. I'm fucking grump. You know what I mean? I'm just an arsehole. I used to get stuff like that when I was a kid, and I just put it in the bin. Just get rid of it. I can't be done with
you
it.
sound like a really old man, you know, Si.
I can't drink obviously because of the medication. So normally when I'm feeling like this, do you know what I mean? I would have a drink to calm us down, but I can't have a drink, so that just makes us ill. I don't smoke the old dope anymore. I haven't for a long time because that
Uh-huh.
makes us fucking paranoid and like an existential crisis. I mean, if I wanted to feel like that, I'd go and see me ma. What else was I got? Oh, yeah, this is another one. So I've got a 3XL Newcastle shirt, an old one, right? The one had for ages. I thought, oh, I've got a big fat one from because I was fat, then I lost weight, now I'm fat again. So I had this one in the fat pile. I was like, oh yeah, it'll fit. It's the one. Obviously, the Northern Rock logos came off like it did with most of them because it was shit quality, but it doesn't fit. So I've had to, what I've had to do, I've had to slit the sides.
Oh, God.
So then it'll go. So I'm
So
gonna
you're
try
gonna
and
wear it with split sides.
slit sides. So it's probably gonna blow up in the wind. It was either that, blow up over my belly, right, or sit like I say, like an uncooked sausage in a pair of tights with it just poking out with it clinging to us. So I went with that.
So you
So
should turn it into a poncho.
yeah, well that's what it's gonna look like. It is gonna
Ah,
look like that episode of The Simpsons where Homer just wore that one tabard like a big frock thing. I mean, as well just get fucking one of them and be done with it.
you're gonna
I
look
mean, so get a
lush.
mobility scooter and a fat cunt frock.
Well, this has turned into a therapy session that I didn't expect to have with you, to be
Isn't it?
honest.
Anyway,
Feel better after that?
little bit.
Little bit?
Little
All
bit.
right.
I'm gonna have to. I've got some Tomazepam somewhere. I might just. Right.
Should we get on
No.
with the
Anyway,
show?
well, welcome to the show, everyone. If you're enjoying so far, like, subscribe. If you don't like it, if you don't like our humor, fuck off. Yeah, this is all the pies show. It's definitely not something that we're gonna do like in a professionally clean manner.
I think this
Me
is
and
very
Kev were
professional.
both performers for years. Both did acting, and then I done stand-up comedy professionally for about 10 years. Then I became disabled, didn't do it anymore. So I've done other YouTube bits and pieces, but I've always had to tone down my accent because fucking people are just, you know what I mean, they're ignorant to things that are different, which is a problem with the world
To your
message.
speech. To your
Yeah,
speech.
my speech. So with this channel, I can just talk and be myself because it's primarily going to be Geordies that watch it, and if they're not, then I'm not bothered. Like tough, like learn it or go and watch some of that twat who speaks proper.
So welcoming, Si. So
I
welcoming.
know. So yeah, like subscribe and that. No, I feel better now. Looking forward to Wembley.
So should we talk about the concept of what we're doing today?
Yes, this video is going to be the history of Newcastle United at Wembley, major Wembley, not when Tottenham played there and didn't have that stadium done. That doesn't count. Proper Wembley.
Specifically finals, isn't it?
Finals, yeah. Newcastle at finals at Wembley. Right, let's kick straight off, Kevin. I've got it here. And it's a good start. We won in 1950-51 season against Blackpool, 2-0. I believe you have a little match review.
Well, I've been making notes, and I even made them into like a book thing. But for some reason,
show the camera your chicken scratching writing.
It's not great. Like, for some reason, I've started at the back and moved back over like a Chinese book. So it's from starting at the back, going back over. Yeah, I don't know why I did that, but I did. So
could be signs of many things.
Before we get into that, so
could be early signs of dementia.
It is. I've had that for years, absolutely years. I shout in my sleep as well, and I scream.
I know. So do I. Remember that time we lived together in London, where we moved in a flat with like I don't know where these foreign guys were from, and it was like we shared a room, me and you, paying next door, share a room, and then the first night we were both squealing in our sleep. The next morning, the funny looks were getting off this. I think it was a Ukrainian dude.
No, he was Italian.
He
was Italian. He came up to me the next day, and he must have heard us like screaming in me sleep, and we were sharing the room. And when you walked out, he was like, "Kevin, everything was okay last night. I hear you scream in the room. You know, your friend, he's a no. You know, he's no." I was like, "No, mate, no. Honestly, I was having bad dreams." He was like, "Okay. Well, if you need anything, you reach out to me, okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I think you thought you were
keeping you in
doing
some kind
things
of
to us, yeah.
London Dark Dungeon."
Yeah, so I actually shout random things as well just before we move on. And my girlfriend's got a list of things that I've shouted out in my sleep, and she loves to get them out at like social events, like especially when our family's there. And some of the best ones were Dick Slippers. I shouted Dick Slippers, Spider Chutney. Spider chutney, whether that's chutney made out of spiders or chutney made specifically for spiders, I never really got the bottom of. French vanilla breadsticks. China from wrestling. I shouted China from wrestling. And just tits and spunk.
Spunk's a good one, yeah.
Yeah, just randomly shouting spunk in my sleep. So make of that of what you will. Anyways, football, right?
Yeah, right, football.
So, yeah. So before we move on to the 51 Cup final, just a couple of honourable mentions. So the first time we actually won the Cup was in 1910, where we beat Barnsley 2-0. And it was actually in a replay. So the first round was at Crystal Palace, and there was goals from Shepherd, 2 goals from Shepherd in the final, the replay of the final. We won 2-0. So that was our first ever Cup success in 1910, and also won it again in 1924, where we beat Aston Villa 2-0, and that one was at Wembley. That was the second ever final in Wembley, and it was a reverse of the 1905 fixture where they beat us 2-0.
Why is it not on my list? Why didn't it show up in history at Wembley?
Because you didn't do enough research.
Oh, yeah. Sounds about right. Okay, right.
But yeah, so we're picking it up from 1951, as you rightly said. Played Blackpool, and I've made some notes. I'll just go through my notes if I can decipher themselves. So it started off a little bit 50-50, back and forth. Bit of a scrappy game the whole first half, but the deadlock was broken. Do you know who might have scored the first goal?
Hughie Gallagher.
No, you didn't.
But
the other one?
Jackie Milburn.
Jackie Milburn, he did, but it was disallowed for offside. Unfortunately,
Jackie, man.
But there was no VAR then, so unfortunately they couldn't go to VAR neither. Also in the first half got a header off the line from Cowell, and it finished 0-0 at half time. The second half, Milburn did slip the offside trap, and he put Newcastle 1-0 up. So he did get his goal in the second half. Aye.
Yeah.
A couple of minutes later, Milburn again puts an absolute screamer in the top bin from 25 yards out. So it was a break on the right-hand side, slips it into Milburn. And when I say it was top bins, I mean it was top bins. You know, I was watching some of this old footage. He had a shot on him like Milburn. Absolute rocket of a right
condition of the pitch like? Because I watched the 73-74 one when well, I'll not tell you what happened because you'll be telling me what happened. But the pitch was just ridiculous.
Well, I mean, it wasn't a snooker table.
In the 73-74 was carnage.
To be fair, the footage I was watching was a bit grainy as well, so it wasn't like you could really see. But I can't imagine it would have been the nicest of pitches. But you know, it wasn't like there were slinking passes about. I mean, these balls had a decent weight on them as well. There was a lot of lumping, and not many sort of intricate ones and twos and sliding the ball about. There was a lot of kicking forward and lumping, and it was big on the offside trap back in the 50s by the looks of it. No ticky-tacky football, no ticky-tacky football. No. But some absolutely screaming shots and some naughty old tackles going in as well.
I miss them days. Well, then, after that triumph, 12 months later, we were back. Newcastle United were back in the FA Cup final once again. We played Arsenal. How did it play out?
So this one was a bit closer. And I learned, it was a bit of an experience. I learned some things about 1950s football actually watching this. So it started off, and Arsenal started the brighter. They were the better team, but had like 2 or 3 attacks where, you know, it was looking like they were going to sort of maybe get the first goal, and then Newcastle started getting into it a little bit more. And I think what swayed it is that in the 20th minute, Wally Barnes picked up a pretty serious injury, and guess who came on for him?
Hughie Gallagher.
No, Wally. Sorry, I must say Wally Barnes played for Arsenal.
50s Arsenal. Bobby Robson.
No, absolutely nobody. Because this is what I learned.
Is that only had one sub?
No subs. You weren't allowed to make substitutions during the games, and that only came into play from 1958 onwards. So if you got an injury, it was just tough luck. No substitutions. Played with the same team for the full 90 minutes, and if you got an injury, it was just wah. I was like, aye, tough shit. You're playing with 10 men. So yeah,
10 men.
10 men, yeah, and it was 0-0 at the end of the first half. Milburn did get a header cleared off the line towards the end of the first half, so was starting to creep into it. And then the second half, I think Arsenal had, they had one chance, and it was just all Newcastle, one-way traffic. It seemed like everything was coming down the left-hand side, and we didn't get the winner though until 6 minutes before the end. A Rob Lido header. Ball, it cut down the left. Again, everything was coming down the left. Sneaky little ball into the middle, just rose above the defence, and boop, how's your father?
Excellent.
Lovely little winner there.
Lifted the trophy back to back as Shackers.
Aye. And when I was watching these, actually, if you go onto YouTube, and anybody who's interested in this sort of thing, as well as the footage from the game, there's some Path Britain, I think it's under, a Path English or something, spelled P-A-T-H-E, had some absolutely mint footage of when the players came back with the trophy. And it was all down, shows them coming into Central Station. The streets were packed, and it's like, you know, it shows you all the. I think I saw you on there actually, Si.
Would have been
getting arrested.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's worth looking into. I see nostalgia, like I was there, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's worth looking into. But it was really interesting, and I enjoy watching it all. So
cool. Well, speaking of open top bus parade, it's just been announced today that Newcastle will not be having an open top bus parade if we lose, which I think is for the best. But if we do win, it'll be on Tuesday.
I read that as well. Did they give a time?
No, I don't think it's been sorted yet. I remember when we won the first division before our first season in the Premier League. The second year the Premier League had ever ran. We joined a season late. It was after school. I remember going after school.
Aye, well, I think it's right not to do an open top parade if you lose.
Definitely.
I mean, it's like there's nothing sadder, is it?
Nah, it'd just be depressing for everyone
It
involved.
would be completely depressing. Like,
Maybe
well
it
done,
was,
Nelly.
maybe it was the FA Cup and it was the end of the season. We're finished in Europe. I can understand it, but we've still got the rest of the season to go now. Do you know what I mean? It's not like
Aye.
that would be the only way I can understand it. Anyway, so we've covered 51, 50, 51 and 51, 52. Newcastle back-to-back winners of the FA Cup. Then
I think it's the first ever time that was done as well, by the way.
Was it?
I think so, aye. First ever time somebody won back-to-back cups.
Well, then we had 2 seasons of not making it. Mm-hmm. But then, just 1 season later, in 1954-55 season, we reached the final again and we're playing Man City. How did that one play out, Kevin?
Well, it was pre-takeover, so we had a better team than them. So we all know there's only been a Man City team since the takeover. So we won 3-1 as the top and bottom of it. So they started like a house on fire. And the score.
You should have saved the score at the end. You should have done it run by run. Never mind.
I don't think it's that much of a spoiler. I think people already know that the information's there, so it's not like I'm spoiling Love Island.
Well, I think for the future, just save the score at the end.
Okay, then I'll do that.
Like. Okay.
Sorry about that, Simon. I do apologise.
Fine.
It started like a house on fire. White, they got a corner in the first minute, and Jackie Milburn, free header, top bin again, 1-0 up in a minute. So let's hope that happens on Sunday because that would be the best possible start. And so that was it. They were 1-0 up, obviously a bit ahead in the game. And then within 10 minutes, guess what happened?
Did City equalise?
Old Jimmy Meadows tore his ligaments, didn't he? With the new information, we know what that means, don't we?
So was there still no extra? There's still no subs then?
Nothing didn't come until 58. Had to play the game with 10 men.
So Newcastle had to play it with 10 men.
No. Man City did. Man City
did.
You played into our hands again. What a shame, eh?
Aye. No, I've got it wrong. We won. We didn't. We won, man. Of course we did.
Of course we won. Aye, we won. Well, actually, when they went down to 10 men, it was quite even from when they went down to 10 men. There was about 20 minutes or so left to play, and they got the equaliser just before half time. A Bobby Johnson equaliser, no less.
So and it would finish.
Does Bobby Johnson? I wonder if he had loads of gold rings. 1-1 at half time. So I mean, they still had 10 men, and we won Newcastle. You know what I mean? Like I've already said, it was pre-takeover. Of course, we're going to go on to win. So the other goal, Bobby Mitchell has a heavy touch from a right-sided cross, but finishes from an acute angle. It was a proper Carnu finish. So the ball comes in cross field, and he's sort of on the left-hand side of the 18-yard area. His first touch, it was like an elephant, knocked it forward. It looks as though it might have been going out for a goal kick. And he just manages to get his leg round it, across the keeper and into the far side of the net. It was a really cute angle and a belty finish.
Mint.
So that made it 2-1. Newcastle were all over them for the second half. And then George Hanna getting on the end of a Bobby Mitchell chipped ball to send home a half volley rocket. So, that one sort of, it like fell to him. It was like a little chip ball and it fell to him. And he had a gaping goal and he decided to put his leg through it and top bins again. We used to score a lot of top corner goals back then.
Yeah. And that finished 3-1 Newcastle.
And that was the end of the winning era.
I was going to say that was 3 trophies in 5 seasons.
Aye.
And we didn't reach Wembley again for 19 years until 1973-74 season, where we play Liverpool again, FA Cup. Kevin, break down what happens.
I've never liked Kevin Keegan. He's never done anything for the North East, has he?
Yeah, I watched this one on YouTube the other day. Keegan, man.
He's the only one that gets away with it, isn't he?
He
Though
is.
at the end of the day, he's the
But
only
I
one
like
that gets
McDermott
away
as
with it.
well. I like McDermott.
Terry Mack, he
He
can.
played for us that game. Terry
Did
Mack
he?
was playing for Newcastle that day, yeah.
Aye. Maybe that's where the bond started.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a slaughtering, really. Like,
Yeah.
for loss of a better term, wash it. So I mean, there was
I
early
blame the
warning
pitch.
signs.
The pitch was shocking. Looked like Chernobyl.
Sharon.
It was awful.
It was. A couple of people I spoke to at work about this who were a bit older than me can remember it, and that was there. They all said, "Oh, it was the pitch." But then I guess both teams have to play on the pitch, haven't they? So it's the same for both. But there was early warning signs. Kennedy headed clear a dangerous cross from Lindsay to prevent a tap in from Keegan. Lindsay was class in this game for Liverpool, absolutely bombing down the left hand side. Danger right the way through it. It was pretty much one-way traffic in the first half. We did manage to get in 0-0 at half time. But yeah, the wheels came off in the second half.
Yeah.
The first goal, Lindsay broke down the right, played a ball into Keegan, who was free in the middle, lets it run. The defender's clearance, it goes straight back to Lindsay. I was watching this, and it was, if VAR was about this got disallowed for offside, and it was nowhere near offside. So Lindsay's coming down the left-hand side, right? He's cut inside to go towards the 18-yard area. Keegan's unmarked in the middle. Right,
Yeah.
he's got a defender in front of him and
I saw the
a
first
defender
goal was
behind him.
offside. Yeah.
Well, Keegan lets the ball run through his legs, doesn't touch it. So the Lindsay's played it in here. He's went to touch it. The defenders went to clear it. And it's went straight into the path of Lindsay, and he's knocked in a tidy finish. So effectively, he's passed it to the defender. The defender's passed it back to him. And I got given for offside. I was like, what the hell? It was nowhere near offside. But so they got away with that one. But yeah, it was after that, it was just continuous. There was a crossfield ball to Keegan, whose first touch loops up perfectly to hit on the volley. Keeper gets a hand to it, but only enough to help it into the top corner. Did you see that one?
I did. I seen them all. I seen that final.
Tidy finish for that one.
Yeah.
Haway made it 2 with an effort from just outside the area that nestled in the bottom right. And then Keegan finishes off with a tap in at the back post after another nice build up.
Yeah.
So I don't really want to talk too much about this one because
that was my first. That was my first defeat at Wembley. Funnily enough, though, the next season we were back again at Wembley. This time, the final of the League Cup, the only time I've ever made the final of the League Cup, and we played Man City.
Yeah. So this one was post takeover, not. Yeah. So I mean, give it a little bit of a better sort of sentiment to ourselves here. We did play a bit better than the FA Cup final. Supermac tested the keeper early on with no success. They did break the deadlock. Free kick, which was like midway in the Newcastle half. They put the ball into the box. It was knocked down by Mike Doyle. Fell to Peter Barnes, and he netted from close range to make it 1-0. It was just it was a Trippier-esque free kick, and it was almost like Trippier sending it to Dan Burn at the back, him knocking it down, and then having a Callum Wilson to knock it in. It was very close to a Newcastle set piece that we've probably seen a few times over the season and probably will see again. So it was a well-worked free kick. The Newcastle build-up improved, and a nice ball from Cassidy slipped in McDonald on the right side of the 18-yard area. His little cross found Gallagher.
Yeah, I think I remember that. I recognise that name. Certain names you recognise from older people.
I used to play for Throckley Mags with his nephew, Peter. He was a good footballer, actually. Yeah, so he found Gallagher, and Gallagher got an equaliser, poked home from 6 yards to make it 1-1. And then in the second half, floated across from Donaghy, found the head of Tommy Booth, which in turn found Dennis Stewart, who scored an absolutely worldy of an overhead kick. It was, it was worthy of the win, actually. Bicycle kick, overhead in the net. See you later.
That was the first and only time we've been in the final of the League Cup and we lost to Man City. But then our Wembley drought started because we didn't reach a Wembley final or any final again for another 22 years. 97, 98, when I was just a lad. I remember this one. We played Arsenal.
Yeah. Well, this is one obviously in my memory as well. My first ever trip to Wembley. And I'm going to clear my throat. Excuse me. So first thing I want to do is I want to give you the teams, and I want to see what you think of it.
Yeah, come on.
So the Arsenal team was Seaman in goal. See if you can remember any of the defence. See if you can remember any of the team.
Keown.
Aye.
Bergkamp. Obviously not defence.
No, he wasn't in.
Was he not?
No.
Sharp.
No, he wasn't in. I'll go for the defence for you.
Well, just do it.
It was Keown, Adams, Winterburn, Dixon.
Of course it was.
Tidy back four. The midfielder had Petit, Overmars, Vieira, and Parler. Up front, they had Anelka and Christopher Ray. I was like,
who's
Christopher Ray? Exactly. Which was mine. Yeah, WRA.
Vaguely. I remember it. Oh, I've got it somewhere. Oh, fuck, we bought it. I'm going to do it. So that wait there.
Go on then. I can still see a bit of your bum crack.
It's all right.
Oh, is this a Panini sticker album I'm seeing?
Yeah. Right, let's quickly have a look. You carry on with it.
So Christopher Ray. It was. He started. He'd only getting 4 goals that season up until that point.
Why am I looking through the book for Arsenal? And obviously they're going to be at the front.
But yeah, he didn't go on to have a great career. So that was their starting lineup. You found him?
I don't think he's even made the sticker book.
Did he not even make the sticker book?
Or he might have made the little ones in the.
Surely, if he had been, he would have been like a multiple swapsy.
He hasn't even made the sticker book?
Didn't make the sticker book. Well, he didn't make much of an impression on the final neither, to be honest with you.
Right.
The Newcastle team was given they had a back 5 of Barton, Haway, Dafties, PS, and Pistoni. Pistoni had a shite game that game. In the middle, they had Rob Lee, Gary Speed, David Batty,
and
then Kitsbaya and Shearer playing in the attacking roles.
2 classic Premier League early day lineups.
I know.
Just two great teams.
I mean, we don't even really need to look at the notes for this. I can remember the day because I was there. I remember it was absolutely fucking boiling. It was like scorching. It was like one of the hottest days of the year. And I think we sort of gave not a terrible account of ourselves, but without really being dominant at any stage. Obviously, the first goal, Nicholas Anelka, I remember that like a dagger through the heart. He got slipped through by Mark Overmars, I think it was. Mark Overmars slipping through. Actually, he got the second one, didn't he? Overmars got the first goal, and he got the second one. So, yeah, Overmars, if you remember, it went through Shea Given's legs, didn't it? It sort of broke through.
I can't remember. I haven't rewatched it. I've only watched it once, and that was live, and I watched it. I can't remember the name of the bar in Newcastle, but I remember being buzzing because I was in a bar in Newcastle, and obviously I couldn't get served at the time, but everyone was just getting pints in for people. You just give them your money, and they go get your pint. Bouncers weren't checking because there's just swarms of people getting in. I remember being really buzzing up for a day, and then just depressed, pissed on the metro going home.
It's going to be, well, the first part of that's going to be like that at the weekend. I think in Newcastle we'll not see any of it because we'll be in London. But yeah, Overmars got the first one. Then we had a couple of chances, didn't we? There was a header at the back post by Nikos Dabizas, which sort of shaved the top of the crossbar. Was unlucky on that. But there was a one where Shearer had a really good effort and he hit the face of the post. And I remember that so well. Because I was cheering like it was a goal before it even hit the post. I think everybody thought it was going in, just off the post. And then after that, it was Anelka who sprung the offside trap and made it 2-0. So you got any more other memories of that day? Because I mean, it wasn't that long ago for us, really.
I haven't at all.
I remember.
I do, but I don't.
Well, I was there with my dad at the time. And coming back on the train, before we came back, we were walking back down Wembley Way, and like the Arsenal fans were like silent. They were silent. And I don't really mind Arsenal, to be honest with you. I've got friends who are Arsenal fans, but I remember thinking, and some of the fans were actually chanting, "Sing up if you've won the cup." And I thought myself, if we had won that final, like it would have been bouncing down Wembley Way, but it was all just really quite muted from their fans. And then we're on the underground afterwards. I remember Newcastle fans were singing, "We're the best behaved supporters in the land. We're the best behaved supporters." I was like, I've never heard this before. And then they started like jumping about going, "But we're right fucking bastards when we lose." And we're like swinging about the train and stuff. And I was like, oh, it's getting a little bit leery, because I think I was only 15 at the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think my dad ushered us off at the next.
I think I got the year wrong. Was that 98, 99 or 97, 98?
That was 97, 98.
All right. So, because I thought we then played Man U 98 and 99, but it wasn't. It was 99, 2000, wasn't it?
I thought it was 98, 99. It was the 1999 FA Cup final.
Which one? The last time was the last time we played?
The final against Man U. That was the last one.
What year have you got? 98 and 99?
I've got 1999 FA Cup final, which would mean it's the 98-99 season, surely.
No, that would be 99-2000. Oh no, FA Cup.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Someone correct in the comments. I can't even Google it now.
Should know that.
So
yeah,
moving on. Man U the year after, and what happened there, everyone knows. But
well, I'll go through their team as well. So their team was Schmeichel. They had the two Nevilles playing.
You know their dad's called Neville.
I do know that. Aye. They had Johnson and May in the centre back positions.
May,
in midfield.
Who was May? I don't remember.
Exactly. Aye. James May, probably. They had in the middle. They had Giggs, Keane, Beckham, and the toenail chomper. The ginger toenail chomping twat.
He's a cracking midfield, to be fair.
He was, aye. It's just
that whole midfield that you just read out there.
Oh no, insane. Cole and Solskjaer up front. Yeah. We had Harper left back. We had
because that was the whole thing about whether he was going to play Harper or Given, isn't it? That season.
Aye. Played Harper. Yeah, so sorry, right back we had Griffin, then we had Xavi, Dabizas in the middle with Domi on the left. In the middle we had Rob Lee, Dietmar Hamann, Gary Speed, and Nobby Solano, which also on paper isn't a bad midfield at all. And then, like the year before, Ketsbaia and Shearer up front. We started this one a little bit better, if I remember rightly.
I remember how getting off to a good start. I watched this one with Gaz's house when he lived with his dad. I seem to remember getting off to a good start.
We did, and then it seemed like a great thing had happened because I think it was Nobby Solano put a bit of a crunching tackle in on Roy Keane, let him know he was in the game, and Keane had to go off injured. I remember thinking, yes, no Roy Keane, and then Sheringham came on, pretty much scored straight away. So it was like fucking hell, yeah, maybe that wasn't a good thing. And I think they pretty much dominated the rest of the first half after that. Kitsbaia hit the post in the second half. Dwight York missed a free header, and Teddy Sheringham also hit the crossbar. But yeah, it was all finished off by the toenail chomper. The man who does questionable things with his
offspring
feet.
Yeah. Well, Kevin, thank you for doing all that research. That brings us up to another 24-year hiatus. And then in 3 days' time, is it 3 days' time? It is 3 days' time. We are playing Man U again at Wembley, but this time in the final of the League Cup. How are you feeling now?
Nerves are definitely starting to kick in a little bit, but look, I'm scared. Of course, I'm scared. I'm scared that we're going to get beat again, but it's not going to spoil the weekend for us. It's not going to spoil the weekend. It's about time that the City had an opportunity to have a weekend like this. I mean, everybody at work, that's all anybody's talking about. You kind of get into a bar down the town. You know, everybody's going to be, around Trafalgar Square on Saturday. The City's needed this for a long time.
All the pubs down mine, like I live in North Shields, so just down the road there's the pub and kitchen. I think people have shared it online. They've got the windows all done out, all sprayed with Monty Magpie and Tell Me Mommy Ma. There's loads of shops in Shields. That's where Rebecca got me that scarf and the t-shirt today. There was someone in a stall in the middle of Shields selling them. I love all that. I love that.
Cup fever.
It's quite nostalgic for me. Because obviously it wasn't till like the 90s when this kind of atmosphere was around, and the 90s was my favorite ever time. So yeah.
Yeah, and exactly. And I don't want the nerves to sort of like overshadow. Of course you're going to be nervous, but I don't want that to overshadow what's going to be, win or lose, what's going to be an absolutely class weekend. I think especially the younger ones who've never experienced cup fever before, there's a generation who's never known winning a cup final, and they're going to experience this for the first time.
If you're under 25, you probably don't remember the last time we won a cup final. Well, you definitely wouldn't remember, would you? 24 years ago.
Well, that's it. So there's a whole set of generations that haven't experienced this before, and now we're older. We're sort of
in their 30s won't remember it. In their early 30s won't probably, or maybe just remember it.
Well, I mean, I remember the two finals well. I mean, it was heartbreaking coming out. I know, you wouldn't have thought I was only 31, so I was. But no, it's going to be an absolutely mint weekend. Look, even if we don't get the results that we want, it'll not overshadow what's the build up to that. And it's like I said on the last one, it's going to be the first of many to come. I feel like this is something we're going to get used to.
Oh, of course it is.
In terms of having good representation in cups and having big games and big days like this. It's only the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, even if we don't replicate it straight away in the next 2 seasons, it is coming. All this stuff is coming. It is coming again. European matches are coming again. It's coming.
And bring it on.
Yeah,
bring it on. It's going to cost us a fortune, but
I know.
Bring it on. It's
worth every penny. I'm toys behind this. I'm going to have to put them in cash converters and 80s, 90s figures to afford all this shit. Yeah, I'm buzzing as well. It's getting more and more. I couldn't sleep last night. I was kept thinking about it. I was like, oh, stop it, man. Stop it.
Well, when I finish work tomorrow, that's it. It's officially cup weekend.
Don't go getting pissed tomorrow because we've got to get the early train on Saturday.
Oh no, I'm saving it for the weekend.
I don't want you to have a hangover because I'm an awful travel companion anyway, and especially now that I can't drink, I'll just be whinging the whole way there. So.
I'm gonna have one of my Gusto meals. Other food brands are available, and have an early night. And I might have. I've got where is it? Is it there? I've got this for my birthday. And I'm gonna have a little read of that in bed tomorrow night, just to
snazzy.
Yeah, just to get excited.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, I'm looking forward to it. If we don't do a video tomorrow, chances are we might not. We did have a guest lined up, but I don't think the times have been able to work out. But we have got loads of guests coming up in the coming weeks. Canny guests that people recognise. So yeah, but we'll definitely go. I think we're going to go live from Trafalgar Square on Saturday. So keep an eye on the channel because I'm going to do a live, even if it's just for a few minutes, just to get some of the atmosphere.
Even if I'm drunk as well.
Of Trafalgar Square on the Saturday. So I make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the bell button so you're notified when we do go live, because we will be going live at some point over the weekend, 100%. And share this video around so other fans can see it. It might not be for everyone's tastes, some of our attitudes, but I think most people will probably get it. I think most people will like it if you give them a chance.
Yeah, thanks to everybody that's subscribed and watched the videos already. I know a couple of legends from my work have been watching and had some positive feedback. So
yeah, I want 250 subscribers. So
very nice, very nice.
Good. The journey to 1K begins.
Aye, let's see if we can get there.
Yeah. So we'll speak to you all over the weekend. Once again, like and subscribe, share as much as you can on all the platforms, and we'll see you soon when the excitement will really be fever pitch. See you then. Cheers.
Come on.